Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. My name's Norma. This is my channel, and today we're talking Love Island USA Season 7. What a letdown. Am I right? Am I right? Anyways, I have been moving from Ohio to Massachusetts. Well, I moved a week ago now. However, for the past few weeks, I've kind of been dealing with what that process looks like. So I haven't exactly been like sitting down to watch episode by episode, and literally I just caught up the day before yesterday, so after Sunday. And then I watched yesterday's episode and I was like, I obviously wanted to go episode by episode on here. I say that all the time, especially even with Love is Blind. I'm like, I'll be trying and it don't happen. And it didn't, but that's okay. But I think moving forward, we'll be able to go episode by episode. I'm gonna just kind of go by who arrived to the villa, like in that chronological order, and just share with you general thoughts. And then we'll get into yesterday's elimination. I've got the notes on my phone. If you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. But let's start off with like the original 10 people in the house. We have Ace, of course. Some of us knew him on TikTok. He was like that guy that was like hosting dance classes via, I guess, like live, like a Zoom meeting type of setting. Teaching people from like around the world to dance. Seems super chill. Ace is on a thin line with me. He's on a thin line with me. We'll talk about it though. Then we have Austin, white boy, who apparently, if you didn't know, has a bunch of controversies, voted for Trump, has said really nasty things online. I'm disappointed because he was super chill, and I'm not quite understanding his agenda because he's like coupled up with black women, or like, well, a black woman and a Dominican woman, and so I'm like, what's going on here? What's the tea? You know what I'm saying? Also, I love the Dominican representation on this season. I'm sorry, no complaints there. All right, then we've got Beldasha. I was supposed to say Bella Dash. Beldasha, sweet girl. She seemed chill. Then we have Shelly. Love me some Shelly. Huda. Okay, if you know, you know. Jeremiah, again, if you know, you know. Nick, Alondria, and Taylor. Okay, so now let's jump into the pairings that we end up with that night. We end up with Ace and Yulissa. Yulissa steals Ace from Shelly. Then did I say Yulissa? I don't think I did. Okay, yeah, my bad. Yulissa was the 10th person. She was Hispanic. She like gets sent home midnight. Was she Hispanic? I'm pretty sure she was. Yulissa is Hispanic. But anyways, I honestly think I somehow missed when they kicked her out in the middle of the night. It was like, and Yulissa's gone from the villa. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So yeah, we have Ace and Yulissa, Alondria and Taylor, Shelly and Austin, Huda and Jeremiah, and Beldasha and Nick. Okay, so I guess we'll talk initial thoughts about these couples before the first bombshells came in. So Ace and Yulissa, we didn't really see much because she gets kicked out. So that's that on that. Ace ends up alone. Alondria and Taylor, BFF vibes. You know what? If the couple's paired to the end, I'm just gonna like talk about them now. So Alondria and Taylor does not like her. I'm sorry. I love me some Taylor, okay? I know we've all seen his social media. We love us some Taylor. He is like on the feminine side, and so I think that's why people feel specific ways they feel about him. I'm not gonna lie though, Taylor's not beating the allegations with some of his mannerisms. And I know it's out of his control, it's just who he is. I'm not judging, okay? I'm an ally. Legibus love you all. But sometimes the way he be walking or sitting there, and then he's like very girl energy, right? Like he's always calling all the girls. This last elimination, hugging that girl down to death. He was Huda's like confidant. You saw the way she bopped him in his head when she woke him up that one night. Absurd. Anyways, he does not like her. He does not like her. Though the kissing, first of all, the top kissing is ridiculous. It's wholesomeness, and I want to appreciate it on this show because let me tell you something, y'all. I've never seen Love Island, and I did not expect the raunchiness. It's nasty. Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's not that I'm judging. Okay, that was very judgmental because I said nasty. However, what I'm trying to say is it's not my cup of tea. Kissing multiple people within seconds, and then someone coming to kiss you after they've kissed multiple people within seconds, like that does not sound attractive to me at all. At all. But whatever, here we are. But yeah, so they have only tap kissed that we've seen. They're not making out, they're just... And if Taylor does that one more time, I don't know how Alondria is not like, what is this, sir? Can we stop that? Maybe we just don't kiss. It's fine. Because it's weird. Like that photo booth moment where literally he was like, and he kept tap kissing her even after she thought it was done. Almost as like a, yeah, it's me. Like it was just too much. I'm sorry. He does not like her. That much is clear. I don't think she even likes him, but I think as women, sometimes we're able to be like, okay, I may not be like physically attracted to this person in this like big passionate way. However, I love the qualities of this person's personality. I could see a future with a person like this, and we will gradually fall like madly in love with a person. And I can see that Alondria sees that potential in Taylor, and so she's like vibing. Okay. Also, Taylor has expressed he's like a slow burn. She's expressed she's a slow burn. So I think for them, they're feeling like it makes sense. But if I'm being really real with you, Taylor is not into her. I can see that she's getting into it. It's like her feelings get stronger for him as they're together. And it makes me sad for her because I don't think this is going to end well, but they might surprise us. Who knows? Shelly and Austin. I think Shelly likes Austin as a friend. I think, again, a little bit similar to Alondria, where she's like, I could see something with this person. There are qualities I like in this person. I don't think she's that into him. I think, you know what I think? I think because obviously throughout, Shelly's in like a triangle situation with Austin and Ace. And I think Ace is who she wants, but because of how Ace is acting, she's feeling like she needs to keep Austin as an option. And so she's like, I'm gonna keep getting to know him. And nothing so far is like completely putting her off from him or making her like, I really don't want, like, she's like, this could be something. And also it's kind of like her safety to stay in the house. If you ask me, that's what was happening there. But what do I know? Beldasha and Nick, they were cute. I can't remember much about them because obviously we get a bombshell. Not obviously, you may not know that. We get a bombshell, they turn into this triangle situation. So we don't see much, but aesthetically they're cute, and that's all I can really say about them. I love Beldasha. Up until this point, I was loving me some Nick. We'll talk about it, we will. And last but not least is Huda and Jeremiah. And oh my god, I have so many thoughts. Okay. I see that the bigger narrative, or like the narrative of the majority, is that Jeremiah love bombed Huda, and then when she started love bombing back, or when she started reciprocating, then he wasn't into it. And I have like several thoughts on this. I'm not saying Jeremiah's perfect. I've heard like the theories and the things and the whatevers about him. I'm gonna speak on like what I'm seeing on the show, because okay, the only thing I've mostly heard about him is like, oh, people think he's playing the game, or their theory is like he's a fuckboy, blah blah blah. I don't think that's true. After seeing TikToks of him reviewing books, I think he's just a nerd who got hot. I think he's a nerd who got hot, don't know how to act, is just like enjoying you know, they just are like figuring it out. Does that make it okay? No, I'm not saying at the expense of women he should be doing that. However, I don't feel like that's something that's like, he's an awful human and obviously it's his fault what's happening with Huda. It's like, also, let's be clear, as adults, we all have autonomy over ourselves. I need the narrative to stop of like, this person made me do that person made me do that. Like, yes, a person can be shitty. Yes, they can cause us to have poor judgment. However, we are, we're responsible for our actions, okay? And so we need to be able to acknowledge that in some way. It doesn't mean we can't hold another person accountable, but like to sit there and be like, Huda has done all of this because of him. It's like, Huda had autonomy of herself. She could have made different decisions and handled this differently. But besides the point, he just seems like a nerd who got hot to me. But anyways, that being said, my view on the situation is not that. I feel like he genuinely liked Huda. I think he really, really liked what they had. But as we see, she like slowly starts losing it. And you cannot convince me there's anything he's doing that caused that. Maybe he wasn't reassuring her in ways she needed, and so it exacerbated it. But like, bro, when she did that freaking back bend in the Dominatrix episode to watch him and freaking Iris kissing, it was too much. Far too much. And she had been doing little things like that. And if you notice, when she starts listening to every fucking conversation happening around her, excuse my language, she's like sitting on the stairs right behind them listening, takes off her shoes, tiptoes over to keep listening. That is fucking weird. Like, and you know what? That sounds very judgy, but I'm just saying, let me just say, myself, I'm moving differently. If I feel the need that I have to be around every corner to listen to what a man is saying about me, I'm just not going to be with that man. I don't feel that there's like more you need to do than that. Because like if I feel the need to be around corners because I don't know what you're gonna say about me when I'm not around, for what? For what, girl? Let it go. Like she was, I don't know, she was very stuck. It was bad. She was stuck. And you can see it through the other women where it's like, okay, girl, like we get it. You feel like he did you wrong, but like, come on. We need to do different. We need to do something else. There's little things that she was doing that was like, girl, what the hell? And people were talking about the spraying of the cologne. Again, to me, at that time that he did that, he was very into her. And I don't think he did it out of some weird possessive and psychotic seeming place. He probably thought it was funny. Huda starts crashing out, and it's just a lot. It really is a lot. Like, it gave Obsessed just because it was like, okay, fine. We want to fault Jeremiah for all of it. Cool. But there was a point where she could have simply let go. She could have simply moved on. And instead, she crashed out harder and made herself look even crazier. God, and then the bombshells. I don't think the bombshells should be allowed to watch. I am definitely of that opinion because they come in knowing everything. And so maybe she isn't a crash out in real life. And now they've seen that and they're like, stay far away from that girl. I'm being real. I do not remember how this happens, but we end up with new pairings. We end up with Ace and Shelly because Yulissa leaves. And then I believe Nick and Sierra, the new bombshell. Beldasha goes home. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember exactly how it happened, but there are new pairings. For a while, there was the love triangle. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm struggling. They were a love triangle for a while. He was like feeling one and more and then feeling the other one more. And if you're asking me if I was either of them, I would have just stopped talking to Nick altogether. I would have gone and started talking to Austin or someone. Any other guys they were into. Because like, I'm not I don't know. Beldasha and now Sierra, because same thing with her. It's like, if you have a strong connection with me until another woman walks in, and this man has entertained every bombshell that has come in. Let's be very for real. Every bombshell except I think Amaya. I don't think him and Amaya talked very much, if I'm remembering correctly. But that doesn't feel secure. That doesn't feel like you have a chance in hell. I'm just saying. But anyways, yeah, he ends up having to, I think, pick between the two, and obviously the other one gets sent home. And so he picks Sierra. So now we've got Ace and Shelly as a new match, and Sierra and Nick. And then I believe, who came in with Sierra? Let me see. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Sierra and Charlie were the first bombshells to come in. And then later in the week, Amaya and Hannah come in as bombshells. And I think all of these people were there at one point together. God, it's so hard to remember. Charlie ends up paired with... maybe Beldasha and him ended up paired together until Beldasha got sent home. I can't exactly remember. We know Charlie comes in. We know Charlie ends up... oh, he remains single, but he remains in the villa. And then Hannah and Charlie end up paired up together, and Amaya and Ace end up paired up together. He picks Amaya over Shelly after pairing with Shelly. Then he instantly gets annoyed by Amaya, even though I feel like she's been showing that personality since the beginning, so I don't know why, like, you thought she would be different with you. I don't know. I'm not sure what he was going for there. But that's that on that. Yeah, so we've got Hannah and Charlie. And then we get 3 new bombshells later on, which is Iris, Jalen, and Pepe. Iris was into Jeremiah. Huda made it kind of clear that they were like almost closed. Jeremiah still seemed kind of interested in Iris, so she didn't fully let it go. She kind of was just there to support him. You know how sometimes we do. Okay? You see that opening and you're like, I'm gonna be his piece and he gonna pick me. And he did. I mean, she succeeded in that, so here what a deal. Jalen was interested in Olandria. However, so basically there's like the women are behind a door, the men are on the other side. The women cast in the one guy that they will have their door open for. The guys then walk up to the doors for the woman they want and like see if it's unlocked for them. It was unlocked for everyone except Jalen. Jalen went to Olandria's door. She had it locked for Taylor, which was stupid if you ask me, but I'm gonna mind my business. I'm gonna mind my business. You want your little small town country boy, okay, girl? He ain't gonna do nothing crazy on you. But anyways, that's that. Then we have Pepe. Basically, they end up having to vote someone out, and it was Charlie Huda? No. I don't remember who it was, but Charlie was one of them, and they choose Charlie to send home. The, like, people in the villa have to choose. And so then Pepe ends up paired up with Hannah. Iris is with Jeremiah, as I mentioned. Huda is single, and I think that's it. I think everybody else is paired up, and Huda is single. And then the last two bombshells we get are TJ and Andreina. So let's talk about what pairings we're looking at. Well, that brings us to episode 18. I'm sorry, I totally skipped just like my thoughts as new couples and bombshells and all of that came in. Sierra and Charlie were our first bombshells. Love Sierra down. Outfits, hair, every day is a slay. Love her. Charlie, he was so sweet. I loved him. Sierra was pretty much instantly wanting to pair with Nick. He ends up pairing with her. Yeah, he ends up pairing with her, and Badashi remains single until he has to choose between the two. So they're pretty much paired from the beginning. Like I said, I love her. She has a sweet personality. She's very, very kind, very level-headed. Like, she's honest, right? When she's annoyed with Huda, she goes to her and kind of tells her herself. Like, she's kind of like, bitch, I'm going to have to vote you out. We've already saved you 3 times. You got to chill. And then we have Charlie. He's such a sweetheart. We all love a man with an accent. He's struggling to make connections. He can't connect with any other women. And then Hannah comes in as a bombshell, and he's like, yes, okay. And so he ends up paired up with Hannah. He's really liking her. We have Amaya, our Dominicana, who speaks terrible Spanish. No tea, no shade. She speaks it, and that's what counts, okay? In this country, 2 languages is gold. So keep practicing, Amaya. Keep practicing. But yeah, she comes in. Ace ends up choosing her, and then, like I said, kind of is just like standoffish and like doesn't like her anymore. He's telling her he doesn't want physical touch, he doesn't want to be called babe, but then he's giving Shelly hugs before bed, like just being obvious that like he's not into her, which I kind of wish he would have just said like, I'm so sorry, I thought I liked you and I don't anymore, instead of having her continuing to try to fight for him and then him turning around and be like, she's psycho, she doesn't get it. It's like, no, you're sending mixed signals. You're not flat out saying I'm not interested in you anymore, until he gets irritated because she messed up his yoga date with Shelly. So then eventually she ends up paired up with Austin. She starts talking to Austin. They're liking each other's like bubbly vibes. They're the same person, which I find so funny because she pairs up with Austin, and then later on we see Austin talking about how she's too much, she's annoying, and it's like, y'all are the same human, but okay. So yeah, unfortunately she keeps getting paired up with men who know her personality, pair with her, and then can't stand her. To me, it's just them trying to stay in the game. Who am I to judge, though? I'm not sure why Ace chose her over Shelly. I feel like Ace is playing the long game, okay? Let's talk about Ace. So we have Ace, right? He's instantly attracted to Shelly. He gets paired with Yelissa. He likes her. He's having fun, right? He keeps saying, like, he's way open. He's not doing anything crazy with the women until he's found, like, someone he feels a little bit certain of. And so, yeah, we get paired with Shelly. He's vibing with Shelly. Amaya comes into the house. He picks Amaya. Suddenly he realizes she's too much, even though she's acting exactly like she was when she came into the house, but I digress. He's annoyed with her. He's like sleeping in soul ties, which is another area of the house, instead of in the bed with her like they're supposed to. And then he's able to recouple with Shelly, but after recoupling with Shelly, or right before, he's telling her how like he is still remaining open, and so Shelly's like, what the fuck? So she's keeping like Austin in her like on her roster, okay? She's like, I don't know, like I want to be with him, but clearly he playing and I am about to get played. So she keeps Austin under her belt. However, when the whole door thing happens where the women are behind the doors, Austin ends up choosing Amaya instead, and Amaya's door was open for Austin. Shelly acts all like shocked and seemingly like irritated or annoyed by the decision, which I'm like, you didn't want that man. What? Like, stop playing games. You're doing too much. But yeah, so that's that on that. And then Ace pairs up. He goes to Shelly's door. So now it's like him and Shelly locked in. And I laugh because I'm sure most of us, and if you haven't, basically there's been all these TikToks making fun of how like he's strategically playing the game. There's one that's my favorite where the girl is like, it's like POV Ace planning his content calendar for the villa, and it's like hibachi breakfast, yoga class, like, because it does seem pretty strategic, and like he's trying to like, you know, but anywho, yeah. So he it seems strategic, right? Because then he picks Shelly. So now he's like locked in with Shelly. He's like creating the push and pull for himself for us, the viewers, right? Where you're like, oh, he's into Shelly, but like he's keeping his options open. He's, you know, talking, moving around. I think it backfired a little bit because of Amaya like being who she is. Where it did make him look a little bit bad because it was like, you're being very dramatic right now, at least in my opinion, and I think most viewers' opinions. It was like, you're doing too much. Like I said, he already knew who she was, but even afterwards, he's acting like she was trying to have sex with him in bed. Like, you could have kept sleeping in the same bed. Every time we did see them sleeping in the same bed, they were just like turned opposite. Like, it wasn't that serious for him to go to a whole other bed. Like, you're weird. But anywho, yeah. Then he pairs up with Shelly. Or well, then we have like him trying to get in with Shelly because him and Amaya are now like fully done, and he's trying to plan that yoga date and all that stuff. And so now he's going hard, and he gets, but then he's still kind of being like, my options are open though, because I think it's like just in case a woman that he feels like, oh, this would hit. But then he chooses Shelly, and he's seemingly sticking with Shelly. I am interested to see what happens with Casa Amor, but I think he's gonna stick with Shelly because, like I said, I agree with others that he's playing the game. And so I think it's going to be like a Casa Amor flirty but respectful, and then come back to Shelly. And I say that the way he speaks to the other men, it's clear. He knows the game, and he's like, be smart. Nick. So Nick and Sierra end up like having sex one night. And then Nick is automatically attracted to Andreina, the new like bombshell. And Sierra's like, what the fuck? And Nick is like, well, we were open. We said we were open. And she's like, dude, fuck that. Like, we still have a very deep connection. And it kind of feels like someone came in and you're just throwing that away. She didn't say that, but that's essentially what she was getting at. Was like, yeah, we're open, but like, damn, dude, we know each other. What? So then he was talking to Ace, and Ace is like, when you put sex into things, it complicates things, which is accurate. But what Ace was getting at was like, you shouldn't have done that if you were still trying to keep yourself like open, and not like, oh yeah, we're open. Because I think to Sierra, it's like, yeah, we'll get to know the new people. And yeah, if it's like, oh shit, this is the love of my life, I get it, won't be mad at you. However, I don't think that when she views open, it's like, oh, you're just gonna be like fully ready to throw me away in a second. Iris comes in. As I mentioned, she's into Jeremiah, but she is still talking to like all the other guys. She's talking to like most of the guys, I believe, or like she's not only zoning in on Jeremiah. However, she does continue to kind of have conversations with him, and you know, she's just giving chill energy. Huda's kind of crashing out. Jeremiah and Huda have argued about different things. Like their relationship is like essentially kind of falling apart. And so then he has Iris, who's kind of just chill, talking to him. She's like, you know, complimenting him, enjoying his company, like things like that. Whereas you have Hood on the other side being like, you need to do more. You said you do more. You don't do more. Do more, do more, do more. And so he's like, bump that, right? So yeah, Iris picks him for her door. I think she could tell that it's like, okay, I broke down the barrier. And he picks Iris's door, but then you can see she's like visibly upset because Huda refers to her as the safe option, his scapegoat. She keeps saying it. His scapegoat. And yeah, and Austin kind of made a face, and Adriana, whatever the heck the host name is, she looks at him and she's like, what's the face, da-da-da, and he's just like, it's been a roller coaster up and down, it's been crazy, like, I'm glad he went with the safe choice, like, I'm glad he chose safe, if that's what we want to say, or whatever. And she kind of whispers to Jeremiah, like, you're not my safe choice, just so you know. And he's like, oh, I know. And I think she was kind of hurt by that, because it felt a little second choicey, right, if you ask me, or like, I don't want to go with that, but I'm not gonna not choose anyone type of vibes. And so yeah, then we have them basically like the following episode or two, very much friend zone BFFing, right? Like they're both kind of like, you know what, she's like, thank you for choosing me. He's like, yeah, you know, they both kind of see that the vibe isn't that for them. But you know, she's grateful she was kept in the house. She ain't complaining. And so yeah, They are kind of best friends. Like, in the morning, he like brings her breakfast and he's like, here you go, BFF, or whatever he says, like establishing it, which was funny. And yeah, that's that on Iris. I like her. She's chill. In my opinion, we don't know too much about her yet, but she's very sweet. She seems very sweet. She dealt with Huda very well, like, because that shit was terrifying. I would have been like, ma'am, I need you to get out of my face. Like, I ain't got nothing to do with whatever y'all got going over there, but no. Jalen, cute little country boy, his first time out of the U.S. He, like, hangs with his grandma and works on the farm. Like, all the vibes. He's such a cute little sweet little country boy. And yeah, he's attracted to Alondria immediately, goes on dates with her, yada yada, but obviously Alondria does not choose him and he gets sent home, which is unfortunate because it's like his first time out of the US and it was only for like 2 days or something, 3 days. And then we have Pepe, and he's fun. Honestly, I'm kind of liking Pepe. Show-wise, I don't know that I'm convinced of his whole, like, I'm a relationship type of guy energy. Because I'm like, it's giving fuckboy. I don't know. But from TikToks and posts I've seen here and there, it seems like it might be accurate. So I don't know. We'll see. But I really like him on the show. I'm going to be honest. He's very sweet. And so, yeah, it's Pepe and Hannah. I believe, yeah, Charlie gets sent home when Pepe and Jalen come in, and Pepe pairs with Hannah. With Hannah. She's very emotional about Charlie for about 0.25 seconds, and then she's like, all right, Pepe, love you, boo, let's go. You know, like, it's time. Her and Pepe end up doing it. The spit to start. That's all you need to know. Type in Love Island spit to start in TikTok. I'm sure it'll pop up. Girl, you're on TV. Are your parents watching this? Listen, I don't know. But anywho, yeah. Her and Pepe are paired together. I just like him. He's just really good vibes, really positive vibes. He was a pro baller who, like, now has, he opened up, like, a basketball organization, if I'm not mistaken, and has, like, a youth program in it or whatever. The last two we have to enter the villa are TJ and Andreina. And TJ, I can't really tell who TJ's into, honestly, because I think it's Iris, but I'm pretty sure Iris is gonna stick with Nick. Or not Iris, I'm sorry, Sierra. I think he's into Sierra, but she's sticking with Nick. Oh, actually, he did talk about Iris, so Iris might be his pick. So I'm sure he's glad she's still here. But yeah, he's into Iris. Andreina is clearly into Jeremiah. Now, to end off this video, we're going to speak on the eliminations of this last episode. Because I'm pissed. Respectfully. Okay. The girls get up there. Basically, the guys are each getting text messages. This girl's safe, this girl's safe, this girl's safe. 3 girls are left standing. It is Hannah, Iris, and Amaya. And the girls, and then the guys go up and same thing, called safe by each girl. And then the 3 guys left that are not safe are Jeremiah, Austin, and Pepe. So the girls have to choose a girl to eliminate. Boys have to choose a boy to eliminate. I honestly thought they were picking Iris. The girls, I thought Iris was going home. She's the least connected to them. The rest of them have made really great friendships. And I'm sure they have with Iris, but we haven't seen a lot of it. So it was kind of like, okay, it's Iris. They picked Hannah. And I was so thrown off because that was the last of the 3 that I expected them to pick. If not Iris, I thought Amaya. I thought Hannah was locked in, bro. They've been besties. All of them with Hannah. Like, and Hannah looks thrown. Hannah is like, this is, what the fuck just happened? She's like, I don't even know how to talk to people I thought were my friends who voted me. Like, what is going on? That was honestly insane to me that they chose Hannah. Now let's get into the guys. As soon as Taylor started talking, Jeremiah knew it was him. And I am so freaking irritated with these men. They've been on Jeremiah's case about getting away from Huda. He gets away from Huda. Now they're all like, poor Huda. How dare you, Jeremiah? You are a jerk. You're playing the game. And if I'm being real, Jeremiah hasn't given very many signals that he's playing the game. I think Jeremiah was genuinely fed up with a situation with Huda and was like, and now I'm having fun. Okay, like that's the energy he gave me. And you would think that the guys would understand that, but besides the point, they chose Jeremiah. They're sitting there talking about it's not personal, it's not personal. What the fuck else would it be? Like, y'all were bros. Y'all were friends. Nick, that's your bestie. What happened? Like, I'm so tight. You could tell that Offset must have been like, y'all gonna pick this shit. I'm out of this because I know what y'all gonna pick and I ain't finna argue with y'all type shit. Like, and Jeremiah was way too nice. Way nicer and showing grace than he had to be. And I'm sorry, once again, unless I see some shit that's insane. That just showed his character and that showed, like, that he's a good person. Like, the way I would have looked at Nick and been like, bitch, it was very personal. Fuck you. Because seriously, Nick was his bestie. And then I feel like Nick and Taylor have just been letting Ace run them. He was not the problem. And then they had the nerve to be like, what America saw. Shut up. Shut up. America don't stand with you, you weirdos. I'm sorry. I'm upset. I'm upset. But I genuinely am upset. No, it should not have been Jared. It should have been Austin's stupid ass. It should have been Austin's stupid ass. But anyways, yeah. Them idiots. And I think what I'm pissed at is that they were like, it's not personal. It's not personal. Yes, the fuck it is. You were all so tight with Jeremiah. And then you just started being assholes to him for no reason. You know, honestly, I think Ace is jealous. Ace saw that Jeremiah and Huda could have actually taken that shit. And he saw then that Jeremiah and Andreina could have took that shit. He's seen Jeremiah's competition from day one. Because him being like, it's game, I peep game, you running game. I feel like he was trying to put his title on someone else. Like, he was like, if I make him suspicious of him, nobody's focusing on me type of shit. That shit was corny as hell. I am so pissed off. And I wish Jeremiah would have been like, y'all ain't shit. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna make you feel better about this shit. It was very fucking personal. It's not personal. Then what the fuck else is it? What's it about? What's it about? Let me know. It wasn't that you didn't think he didn't have a connection in the house. Or like, Andreina literally was like, they all saw a connection. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, that was episode 18. I guess tonight's supposed to be Casa Amor. And me and my, like, sister-in-law were talking about how none of these couples are strong. Like, going into Casa Amor right now doesn't make any sense. Like, everybody just gonna be playing with everybody's face. Like I said, I think Ace is gonna stick with Shelly. Nick, I don't know what the fuck to think about Nick now. I really liked him. Mamacita, right? We were all loving us some Nick. Now, fuck you. Respectfully, Nick. Disrespectfully, Nick. Disrespectfully. But anyways, Nick, I'm like 50-50. I don't know what the hell he's gonna do. I can't tell if he's playing the game. I can't tell if he really likes Sierra or he's just making sure he has someone, like, when it comes down to it. I don't know what he's doing playing with her. Sierra, please match up with someone in Casa Amor. Fuck that man. Be the fuck out. Please. I hope she matches with TJ. I hope TJ picks Sierra. But no, I think TJ's gonna pair up with Iris. I think TJ's gonna pair up with Iris, and I think he might stick with her. TJ, like, seeing how he moved with the girls in the house, he doesn't really give me will be affected at Casa Amor energy, but also we just met him. So I'm not making, like, final calls here or anything. But, yeah, I think he'll probably stick with Iris. Poor Andreina. I don't know what she's going to do, because Andreina, you should... Pepe. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. Pepe and Andreina are going to pair up. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Pepe told Hannah, like, I'm going to find you when I get out of here. I feel like he probably shouldn't have said that. I feel like he meant well, and he really did like her, but I don't know. I think there's still a chance he could make a deeper connection, because they weren't, I don't think they were, like, super connected just yet. But they could have been. I mean, they did have sex, so. But anyways, yeah, I think Andreina's going to choose Pepe. I think that's probably her number 2. So they're probably Andreina and Pepe, and I think they'll just stick together till the end. Who else? Shelly and Ace, like, well, yeah, they'll stick together. I already said that. Taylor and Alondria, I'm hoping Alondria finds somebody else. I need her to wake up. I need her to see it. I don't know if she sees it and she's just pretending she doesn't. And that's another thing that pisses me off. Ace had all that energy for Jeremiah. What about Taylor and Alondria? No, because you know that Taylor don't like Alondria. And you know that they in competition. You know that everyone can see it because you can see what we see. But I hope you enjoyed this chaotic ass, just like catching up, talking about my feelings. This elimination pissed me the fuck off. I am heated. Jeremiah, we love you. We stand by you. I hope you see that. Hi. This did not go up as planned. My birthday came and went. 32. It was June 26th, if you're wondering, yesterday. But anyways, yeah, I'm adding 18 through 21 at the end of this one so that I can start fresh tomorrow and go episode by episode. So 18 and 19 were basically Casa Amor happenings, the new pairings in the villa, the new pairings in Casa Amor. I haven't watched any other season, so I have nothing to go by, but it is clear that this is not how it has been done in the past. So there's that, if you didn't know that. But anywho, yeah, let's go through I'm just gonna go through the pairings. We'll talk about it. All right, so our main villa pairings are Taylor and Coco, Ace and Vanna, Nick and Clark, Pepe and Grayson, Austin and Jaden, and TJ was left single. That was how they paired up when Casa Amor started. This is how they're paired up now. Basically, TJ stands up in the front. They say, hey, did anyone have a stronger connection with him than their current partner? Vanna stands up. She goes to TJ, which leaves Ace vulnerable. I got so hyped. I was like, Ace going home. Ace going home. And then I was like, fuck, no, he's not. No, he's not. And he didn't. Coco saved Ace. She got up for Ace. And then Taylor was up there. And then Clark got up for Taylor. And then Nick was up there. And no one got up for Nick. We'll talk about reactions in a moment. But yeah, so new pairings are Taylor and Clark, Ace and Coco, Nick is gone, Pepe and Grayson, and Austin and Jaden. So those are the current pairings. Oh, and TJ and Vanna. Casa Amor pairings. Shelly and Chris, Alandria and Zach with a K, Huda and JD, Andreina and Brian, Iris and Zach, Sierra and Elin, Amaya is alone and vulnerable. And then at the end, when Amaya gets up, Zach with a K gets up for Amaya, which makes Alandria vulnerable, but no one gets up for Alandria, so she's going home. The reactions to these were a bit too much for me, but maybe it's just because, to me, none of these sisterhood and brotherhood connections seem real. I like seeing how they treated Jeremiah after he was part of the brotherhood. Like, this shit don't mean shit, clearly. Nick deserved to go home. I'm sorry he didn't actually go home. As we all know, Nick and Alandria are the plot twist. We'll talk about that in episode 21. But it's just so dumb. But all that crying was just too much for me, especially from the guys. And then I think in the beginning of episode 21, I believe, or maybe 20, they talk about Nick like that man has deceased. Like that man has ceased to exist on this planet. Like, it was far too much. I'm sorry. Huda sliding down the wall to cry was a little bit too much for me. Like, I want to say I get it. I want to say I'm being insensitive. But they scream fake, like the friendships and the sisterhoods so like I was just like, what are we crying about? Come on now. But I guess if it's fake, you do have to keep up appearances. Let's go through the couple links. I'll give you my thoughts. We have Ace and Coco. I like them a lot better than with Shelly. We'll talk about her and her coupling, but I hope Ace and Coco stick together. We have Taylor and Clark. They make sense. He seems way more attracted to her. Like, once again, Taylor does not like Alandria. I've seen that since the beginning. I don't know if she's blind to it or if she's just playing the game until she doesn't care. Like, it's just a lot. But also with the way she's acting right now, like, about him being paired up, makes me think the feelings really are there, which is, like, how do you not see it? Like, how do you not see it? Then we had Nick got dumped, but possibly returning. We have Amaya paired up with Zach with a K. And again, I can tell that he's kind of overwhelmed with her emotions. Like, I think he's very overwhelmed with how much she is. Which, there is nothing wrong with our Amaya Papaya, okay? We are all Amaya Papaya stans, but none of those men in that villa are for her. But she will find her man. But yeah, you could tell he's like, oh, he's like all the way over it. TJ and Vanna are paired up, and I feel so bad for all the hate that Vanna is getting, but like, the message is valid. Like, it's too much. She's only 21. Like, that's insane. However, the bullying isn't necessary. That, like, you don't, like, I don't know that we all needed to attack that, but I don't know. Hopefully she comes out and sees it and like takes out some stuff and kind of tones it down, you know, for her sake. All right, and the ladies, we have, and then Austin and what is her name? Jaden. Austin and Jaden, they I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now we have Shelly and Chris. I love them, and I hope she stays with Chris. Shelly, don't be stupid. Don't be stupid when you get back to the villa. Alandria, she has exited. Huda and JD, I guess. I haven't seen much on them, so I don't have very many thoughts on them. Iris and Zach, haven't seen much on them either, but I mean, they look cute. Sierra and Elin, I actually like Elin for her. The way he was comforting her, baby, that would have had me choosing Elin on sight. Like the way his hand was just resting on her leg, and then Sierra girl, I would have been gotten. I'm telling you, I would have been gotten. Oh shoot, I forgot about Pepe. Okay, so yeah, there's also Pepe and Grayson, and I don't know much about them either. So that's fun. That's fun. All right, so into episode 21. We see Olandria and Nick being put like on dinner in the forest or some shit, and they basically find out that they can either leave for good or they can pair up together, and they're instantly like, okay. I think Olandria was just playing the game, and well, Nick was too. There was some attraction there, and I think he was excited to. Sierra needs to leave Nick. Sierra better pick Elin and stay with Elin, because the way this man will drop her for any woman that is put in front of, like, because they could have matched up and then just been friends, just been cool, like, to stay in the house. And instead he's like, actually, I've been attracted to you from the beginning, and I'm like so excited to like, I'll explore this, like, I'll actually go for it. Isn't Taylor your brother? He's in there crying, calling you Superman. Taylor could give a fuck less. He sees them the next morning and jumps over Alondria to hug Nick, gives Alondria a quick pat on the back, and then goes back to hugging Nick with the back arched. Like, once again, Taylor is not beating the allegations. I'm sorry. What is going on? But anyways, yeah. So that is essentially what happens. Then there's like a competition between the two houses where it's like, oh, the person with the tallest partner kiss, and then they pick a winner between the two, like that type of shit. Casa Amor ends up winning, of course. And yeah, Elon's really feeling Sierra. Sierra is feeling him, but she's trying to remain like respectful of Nick because she had such strong feelings for him. Somebody send her a picture, okay? Whoever's in control of this shit, please put the girl, like, don't let her fuck this up, trying to be faithful to a man who don't want her. I mean, this would probably only make her attractive to Elin, if you ask me, because, like, she'd be faithful to him. But yeah, what I want is for when they all get back together, that she sees it for what it is and is like, you're good. Quédate pa' allá. Quédate pa' allá. Thank you. But yeah, I think that's essentially all that happens. Oh, Shelly and Chris are really, really cute. I like the way he comforted her. He was talking to her. I haven't seen deep conversations with her and Ace. And not that this was super deep, but I just thought it was a very considerate question to ask. Like, when they were talking about everything that had just happened, and he asked her, like, what do you do when you're feeling down like this? Like, what brings you comfort? And that would have had me too. Like, that Ace who? Because, like, that's just it's such a simple question, but it makes it clear, like, oh, his intentions are to, like, know this information, right? To be able to do that, to be able to help. Like, and it ate me up. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I'm team Chris and Shelly. I'm team Elin and Sierra. Like, come on, guys. Come on. As for the girls on the guy side, nothing wrong with any of them. They're very cute. They're all cute. They all seem nice. But these dudes ain't shit. And y'all just don't take any of them seriously, please. But yeah, I think those are the only two couples that I'm like rooting for. Because everyone else is just kind of like, eh. I did see people wanting Alondria and Zach with a K paired together. They could work. I hope he doesn't stay with Amaya just to like win or to like, you know what I mean? Like, it's clear he's not that into Amaya. I think, I hate to say it, but I feel like he just chose Amaya because it was clear that Alondria was like gonna stick with Taylor. So obviously in Zach's head, it's like, if I choose Alondria, I'm gonna just be vulnerable when we get to the house. And so he was like, well, let me choose Amaya. But now it's like that awkward. And I feel like that's what Austin did too, where it's like, she's kind enough. Like, she's pretty, she's kissing me. So like, not a bad situation to be in. But then like, her personality can be a lot. And so when you don't want her, it's like, you know, I don't know, but we love her. I never said I was perfect. Like, come on, how can you not love that? Anywho, those are all my thoughts. I am so hyped for this next coming episode. Sounds like they're going back to the villa. They better not make the whole thing like the beginning of it and not give us anything. Like, I want to see action in the villa this next episode. That better be an hour and a half episode, not that freaking episode 18 bullshit they did, or 19, whichever, 19 or 20, whichever one it was. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. Again. Like the video if you enjoyed. Comment down below, like, who are your favorite couples right now? I want to know, like, if you're looking at, like, nah, these old matches need to stay, or, like, oh no, these new ones. Because actually, I don't really feel like any of the old matches should stay. Interesting. Anywho, hope you enjoyed. Subscribe for more content like this, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!